r/off my chest. A chest, you know, you train when bench pressing. Sometimes you want to get some off of it. That's what we're looking at right now. Wanderlust Liz. My fiance saw me walk up to the front door of his work and his heart dropped. Now, I have a suspicion on what that means, but let's find out for real. I just knew today would be a good day. Normally, I don't like going by his work when I get off, as traffic is usually ridiculous, and I'm already exhausted. But I had a strenuous day at work, and his restaurant has great food and drinks and aren't typically busy on Mondays. Traffic was light due to rainy weather, and I was able to get off work early for once. I picked up his son from school and we were on the way. Anticipation building up in my stomach. Excitement. We pull in, his son and me get out hand in hand, walking up to the glass front doors waiting for him to notice. His son, not your son, or I don't think it matters. And boy, when he did, he shut his eyes and threw his head back, hand clutching his chest, nearly tearing up. I let go of our son's hand and let him go run and hug and comfort his father with arms wide open and the biggest smile. They held each other so tight. 2 steps behind as I walked up, my soon-to-be husband was so quick to discreetly grab us both, keeping us close off the side to give me a proper embrace. We all hugged. His grip was tight. He finally pulled away, seconds feeling like minutes, looked me in the eyes with a mix of sadness and anxiety and said, "How did you know? How did you know that I needed you today?" And I just looked him in the eyes and said, "I don't know, but maybe because I needed you too." The look in his eyes filled with love and release when he saw us. The way he let us know he is ours just reassures me that this man is wholeheartedly committed to me and us and our future, and I could not be more blessed. We have a proper rich person. Way to rub it in our faces. I'm joking. I'm very happy for you. Although I am wondering if this is real, but maybe it is. Like, either she's a good storyteller or this is very fake and someone's just trying to practice, you know? And that's just, now I feel sad about it because I want this to be real because it's really, really nice. From witchiness. My boyfriend made me climax 5 times in a row. Wow. Okay. What the title says, I have no one to talk about this IRL, so here we are. I'm honestly still in disbelief and it's been like 9 hours. It was so good. And it was literally one after the other non-stop. Before I met him, only one of 3 of my exes made me orgasm, and that was one time. Then I met my boyfriend, he just casually pulls crap like this. God, I love him. That is all. That's pretty cool. Would like to meet your boyfriend for reasons that I won't say, but you can guess, probably. You can guess. I'm serious about this, by the way. Don't ignore this. That was a small one, but I needed it for the thumbnail, okay? Because it's a big thumbnail, and it makes you freaky bastards want to click. I know you. I see through you. Yeah, I know everything there is to know about you. Because I am in your walls. I live there. Quite comfortable, actually. I appreciate that you don't charge me rent for it. It's quite nice in there, actually. It's quite comfy and cozy. Yeah, I made it a nice place. Don't check, because you'll ruin everything. All right, just let me live. Let me be there. If you hear like weird, like knocking or stomping or scratching, that's just me. It's just me. Don't worry about it. And I don't have harmful and I don't have bad intentions. I'm just chilling, keeping an eye on you. When you sleep. I like watching people sleep. Okay, I need to stop. I need to stop before I get in trouble. Jay Steele. My girlfriend has poor hygiene. Man, I've always said that poor hygiene is the biggest deterrent for people that you want in your life. So that could be friends or that could be partners, right? It's like, if you stink, I just immediately don't want to be around you, even when it's not even your fault. I remember there was this kid in high school. It was the first year of high school. Or is it middle school for... I don't know how Americans work. In Netherlands, you have primary school until you're like about 11. Then you go to high school, and then after that you go to college, right? So first year of high school, which is 11, 12, around that time, right? There was this kid, and he had a problem with his bladder. Like, he had to go to the toilet all the time. Not to sound too disgusting or disrespectful to him, he would drip. Because, I mean, he had an issue. I don't remember what it was, but there just was something not right with his bladder. And throughout the day, the further we got into the day, the more he started to stink like pee. And it's like you would sit next to him in the morning and it would be fine. You wouldn't smell anything. And he was a nice kid as well. He was a good guy. But then once it became noon, usually during lunch it started, you would be eating and you would just get that faint smell when he was sitting next to you. And it's like, this kid cannot do anything about it, all right? Because remember, he had an issue. And he's a nice guy as well. Like I said, he's a good kid. He was a good guy. But I lost my appetite and I was kind of like, ugh. And I don't know. It's subconsciously, it just doesn't feel right when someone doesn't smell nice. And I felt bad for him. He deserves. I mean, he got it fixed. I don't know what he did, if there was some medicine or surgery or something, but like I didn't speak to him the next year because we had different classes. But then after, once I started talking to him a little more, I didn't smell it anymore. So I'm glad he fixed it, and I hope he's doing well. Actually, I haven't spoken to him in forever. But like, dude, if you have power to change your hygiene for the better, please do. Okay, so brush your teeth, floss as well, put on some deodorant, and make sure to shower regularly or bath, anything to wash yourself, basically, and change your underwear. Please change your underwear, because you can be the nicest person ever, and you could be the best husband or wife material, but if you stink, a lot of people are not gonna want to be around you. I absolutely love my girlfriend. We have been together for a little over a year now. She's my dream girl. I often feel like I lucked out and somehow have landed the most attractive girl I've ever seen. She's very kind, incredibly beautiful, driven in her career, and is very active. The one issue that has gotten worse as we've been together, she has poor personal hygiene. She doesn't bathe or shower often, maybe twice a week. When we first started dating, I didn't notice it as much. She often wears active wear, and I always thought her scent was just from her being active all the time. Whenever we had sex, I didn't think much of it. Usually we seemed to get it on when she finished the workout, so I didn't think much of it. She had insecurities about herself down there and told me she thought her lips were too big. Yeah, I've heard that before, where girls are like, they're embarrassed about their private part, you know, to be kind of respectful about it, right? It's like, listen, if you are with a straight man, it doesn't really matter, okay? I'm just gonna be honest with you, it doesn't really matter. As long as it's clean. As long as it's clean, you're good. Don't worry, don't even worry about it, right? And if your partner, whoever you are doing it with, does complain about it or say something, he needs to question his sexuality. I was the only guy who has ever gone down on her, and it makes her feel confident in herself. So again, I didn't think much of it. But since moving in with each other, I've noticed she doesn't wash often enough. A recent issue came from the other day when I went down on her. I wasn't particularly bothered by her scent. She had actually washed the day before. But as I was going down, she made that comment, "It's so hot that you prefer me when I don't wash." I just kept going and assumed it was some naughty she wanted to say in the moment, but when we finished, she brought it up again and said she feels so comfortable with me and wants me to enjoy her when she's smelly because it's primal and a big turn on for her. She then said she doesn't like washing every day and she doesn't need to. She then said, "You go down on me all the time, so I know you like it anyway." It made me feel kind of gross. I feel a bit differently about sex with her and going down on her now. I want to say something, but I don't want to ruin her confidence either and our connection. Her just saying that put me in a funk. I would have happily kept going if I hadn't have heard this. Maybe I'm just being silly and I should roll with it. I'm not sure how to feel. What do they always say, Mr. J. Steele? What's the first rule of every relationship? Just think about it. I'm not even gonna say it. It's up to you. So what you do is you are gonna bring it up, and not in a disrespectful or shooting down manner, but you can't just suppress your feelings and your thoughts and emotions just because you want her to feel confident. If you have a problem with it, or if is there something you need to get off your chest, right? The one person you should be able to communicate this to, right, is your partner, right? That's genuine advice. The second advice I'm gonna give you is grab a shower head. Just say, "Let's do it in the bathroom." And she's like, "Yeah, all right." And then you just all of a sudden grab the shower. She's like, "What are you doing?" And you just pin her down. Just rinse it, right? And then you say, I don't know what you say. This is very weird. J. Steele, communicate to her, please. And you can be understanding, but you can also put like I don't mind if you don't wash for like a day, maybe two, I don't know, right? Something like that. I'm just spitting balls here, right? And then you say, but after the third day, like it's too much for me. Like you can find a middle ground is what I'm trying to say, right? You can find a middle ground, but if you just don't say anything, it might just get worse until you're totally uncomfortable with doing anything sexual, and then the whole relationship's gonna fall apart because she can feel that then, and then she feels like you don't like her anymore. And maybe if it's totally no communication and she doesn't talk about it either, and then you break up, which could have easily been avoided. I've already seen like 3 posts hating on who won the presidential election in the US. I've never talked about this before, but Reddit is such an echo chamber. Because I go on both Twitter and Reddit, and I feel like, especially because I interact with Christian content, Twitter becomes kind of an echo chamber for more right-leaning, right? But every time I go on Reddit, even when subreddits are not even about politics, I just see always leaning. And it's like, I will very rarely see a nuanced take. I think only on YouTube. Sometimes, usually I don't care about politics, but sometimes I just find a video that I'm interested in, and usually it's quite like nuanced and a kind of a middle ground. Not in the like, I'm not giving any opinions, please don't be mad at me, but just not so extreme. I feel like most Americans are saying, I don't care about you, and goes on to say apathy is one. You know, and who am I to say that people cannot have their political opinions, right? Because that's the whole point of freedom of speech. But I feel like every platform that discusses politics, whether it's more right-leaning or more left-leaning, I feel like it waters it down, like completely. Because it's not people trying to just have a discussion, right? Because if people were like, pick an issue, let's talk about it, I think this and this, and then someone else, I think this and this, and maybe you should try and see it from this perspective, and then the other person, I guess that makes sense, but I think this and this, and due to this experience, I think, you know what I'm saying? Like, normal discussion. But I feel like no matter which wing it is, it's also like, there was a word I was going to say, I forgot it, like smugness to it. That's it. Like all those other people on that side, they don't understand and they lack empathy, or they are so dumb they don't have any logic. And I'm like, you know, especially find it annoying when Christians do this, because I'm like, guys, everybody's God's children, right? We all believe in God, right? As Christians. Therefore, you have to believe that everybody's God's children and therefore has the same worth. So, when someone is, for example, a transgender, you can't hate that person. You can disagree with what they have done, but you can still treat that person with respect, you know? Like one of God's children. You know what I'm saying? And I can talk about this because like I said, I'm a Christian myself. And therefore, I will always have, I normally don't like talking about this, but I'll just be honest, right? I therefore have some pretty conservative opinions, right? But I have that opinion, and then I put it into a group. In like, you're one of those. We hate that group, and then the group where I was lumped into hates the other group, and then there's always fighting about it. And it's like the world would be so much better. A Christian guy, a gay guy, a Muslim, a Buddhist, and a something else. Find any group that you want. Could just chill together in a bar, drink a few beers, not talk about politics at all. And if they do, just be chill about it. I don't know why I don't want to get this channel. I don't want this channel to be about politics, but it's at least where I interact with the internet outside of YouTube, at least it's always there, and it's kind of depressing sometimes, because sometimes I let it get to me, since it is also emotionally charged, because that's the most monetizable, and then I don't feel good. And I want to feel good. And I want others to feel good. But I know for a fact that if I'm not feeling good about a post, then I'm not the only one. And it's not like there isn't important stuff to talk about, but not on the internet to strangers. And again, if you disagree with my, like I said, Christian, right? You can disagree with it, but just don't talk about it in my comment section, because it's just not the place. Either you like the video or you dislike the video, you know? You say like, I thought your commentary was pretty bad, and your editing is so trash, and you need to improve it. Fine, okay, fair enough. But like, don't start talking about my politics or what I choose to believe in, and then I won't talk about it to you. I'm just complaining about the fact that politics is such a big issue in a way that is extremely unproductive. I need to say that like really, really clearly. It's in a way that's very unproductive, because nothing gets achieved by the politics discussed on the internet. It never works. Just a dad 369. I caught my wife sending nudes and sexting someone else. Well, that's what you want to have happen to you, of course. I caught my wife of 10 years sending nudes and sexting someone else. I even confronted her about it 3 times, and she lied all 3 times. Then I logged into her Snapchat and saw in real time her sexting the guy. Then through some investigation, I found out she was sending flirty texts and images to a guy she met on a work trip and also a work colleague. I'm just lost and broken, and she's making me feel like I'm insane for being upset about this. She said if it was the other way around, she'd think I'd want to add someone into the relationship. We've never been anything but monogamous. I don't know, I'm just completely and utterly lost. Why would this be considered cheating? Well, it is considered cheating by everybody who is normal, but your wife is manipulative, and she wants to cheat on you, but wants to walk all over you because she doesn't actually want to lose you. And she's counting on you having zero respect for yourself so that you'll stay with her regardless of what she's doing, and essentially cucking you in a sense. And the only way you can fix that is by putting your foot down and just leaving her. It doesn't matter what she thinks, because she knows deep down that what she's doing is wrong, and you're just gonna get out of that relationship, and you're not gonna let yourself get disrespected the way that's happening right now, because you're not crazy for finding this very not good and considering this cheating, because it is cheating and it is not good, and that is just an objective fact, unless if you really like an open relationship, which in that case you can do whatever you want to do. But according to your post, you don't like that, and you've been nothing but monogamous. Clearly not, because she's not that. right? But do something about it, man. Like, I cannot do anything for you. The only thing I can say is you need to put your foot down, right? Self-respect. Respect yourself too much to let yourself get walked over like this. Don't accept it, you know? And I want to be sweet to you. And I want to kind of, you know, cradle you in a sense, or your feelings, your emotions. Like, it'll be okay. And I'm sorry. Of course, I'm sorry that it's happening to you, but fortunately, you're gonna have to reach in your pants, grab your balls. If they're both there, that means you have balls, which means that you're gonna have to stand up for yourself, because no one else is gonna do it for you, right? And I believe that you can do it. I mean, it's scary. It's hurtful to you, you know? It's called your heart's broken. I mean, it's already broken, right? Like you said, you're lost and broken. But you cannot let this keep continuing to happen. So grab those balls and say to yourself, I am worthy of more than a woman who disrespects me like this. A woman who doesn't even value me or what I feel is important, and who's trying to manipulate me in getting away with everything. You can even be with me if you want to. I'll treat you way better than your wife. We'll just play like games together. Do you like Rainbow Six Siege? We can play Rainbow Six Siege. I'm a way better option than your hopefully ex-wife. It's 18 hours ago, so probably not yet ex-wife. It is truly worst nightmare stuff, because like you trust and love someone so much, and then they just do this to you, and especially if they call you crazy for not liking it. It's like, I don't want to judge, but like, how mean-spirited do you have to be? Like, how empathyless must one be? So, just a dad, I hope you're doing okay. Get after it, alright? But yeah, that will do it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment your favorite political candidate ever, you know? I was talking about don't make it political, and I don't like how the internet's political because it breeds hate and all that type of stuff. Even though we should talk about it, but not like this. That's what I was saying, basically. But you know what? Let's just do it anyway. Go into the comments, say your favorite political candidates. It doesn't matter which country. And anyone who disagrees, make sure to fight them to the death about it. Just do it. I want my comments to be bogged down and horrible. I'm joking. Please don't do that. I don't want hate. I want people to love each other. Actually, no. New task. Instead of fighting each other to the death, find someone who disagrees with you fundamentally, right? And then say one nice thing about each other. Try to find like a nice thing about each other. So if you're an atheist, say it. Then I'm gonna try and say, then I'm gonna give you a compliment, and then you're gonna give me a compliment, and then we're gonna show that atheists and Christians can coexist and be nice to each other. And everybody's gonna follow that example, right? And then world peace in my comment section, at least. I hope. So don't be mean to each other. This exercise is very important, right? Find someone who disagrees with you on everything, and then say one nice thing about each other. That's the exercise. All right, let's get out of here.